So let's first create the blog. And once the blog is created, you can click on the Customize Your Blog button, and it will take you to the newly launched DesignStudio. On the right, you have your blog, which doesn't have any content yet. And if you want to see how your blog will potentially look like, you will have to fill it out with all the elements and posts, etc. So we've made this switch here, which you can click, and your blog will be populated with temporary content that is ready-made for you to see how your blog will look like. Your name and your blog description will be kept intact, so you can see how those changes reflect if you want to make any changes. So let's say Pine Tree Creative Studio. And if you can see, the changes are reflected right away on your blog. Now, everything is still on the settings area. You don't see it on your published website, meaning that you would have to click the Publish Changes button for everything to reflect live. The blogstatic DesignStudio panel is divided into three main parts: theme, colors, and fonts. The theme section allows you to change the theme of your blog, which there are currently 6 at the time of this recording, and the mode, which you can pick from light, dark, or system. Theme elements allow you to change a few other things like the logo, the name, the description, and a few other things depending on the theme of your choice. Let's go ahead and upload the blog logo. So let's do that. And next, let's move on to the color section. The color section is divided into 2 main parts again, the Flairs section right here, and the custom modifications section right below it. The Flairs section allows you to pick a few ready-made color schemes from Verdant Grove to Autumn Ember, and once you pick your chosen flare, it will reflect the dark mode as well. So each color scheme has both the light and the dark mode versions. And if you don't like any of them, you can simply reset the current mode colors. You would have to do it separately for each light or dark mode in case you like one and you don't like the other. So I'll go back to the light mode, and I'll move on to the custom modifications area. This section is also divided into 2 parts, the fast section and the detailed section. The fast section will allow you to change a few global things like headers, titles, grays, some text that is secondary, links, etc. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll pick really bright colors so you notice where the changes are being made. So these are some of the headers, and the grays I'll go with bright green so you can see those being changed, like here, pinned, etc. Body text color I'll go with bright blue, and this is actually the text on the main copy as well. And some of the links I'll go for pink. Now this section allows you to change only a few global things if you don't want to deal with the detail section. If you don't like those, you can simply click them out, close that section, and move on to the details area, in which you can change every single element of the page. So we'll start with the page. You can change the background color to whatever you need. You can also type out your colors. I'll just go with black, and you notice if I don't add all the 6 digits of the color will not be rendered. So wait for you to enter the full color hex. And I can also change the width of the page. I'll just leave it now to its default 700 pixels. I'll move on to the top menu area, in which I can change the background color, the border, which doesn't exist right now on the default color scheme. And I'll just pick colors very bright and noticeable so you see what is being changed. I'll make the border width into 3 pixels. You're not seeing yet because I haven't picked the color yet. So I'll go with white. Let me go with something else that you can see. Bright green. I'll make the colors green again, these here. And I want to change the button colors to blue and the title color to white. Notice that you have to pick the white color. If you click X, it means there's no color if this field is not filled out with the chosen color hex. So I'll just go and pick that for me. And I can also mess with padding, the top and bottom padding. I can do that. I'll move on to the header area, and I'm not going to do every little detail, every little section, because it'll take a while, and hence why you have the global section, in case you don't want to deal with every detail. But if your current website colors are a particular color and you want to match your blog to your existing website, this section will help you do that. Header gives you all kinds of things to do, so you can make the logo smaller, you can get rid of this default roundness, so I'll just make it like 5 pixels, or maybe 3. Change the back color, let me do something else like that, and then I'll mess with padding a bit. Social icons, I can change them to what I go for, maybe red. I'll also change the search button background to, let's say, black. And one cool thing is that you can also change the placeholder text. This little search type that you're seeing here, which is not actual text, it's just telling you what to do. So before typing that, I'll change that into that background green. And maybe I'll just go into categories and give it a little border. Mess with the padding again. The link colors, make them green. Let me go to green here. Maybe dark green. You can also change the newsletter subscription. Also pagination. This page currently doesn't have any pagination limits, but once pagination appears here, you can change its colors. Newsletter box, you can change it basically to any color you need, etc. You get the idea. And you can go ahead and do the same thing for the dark mode. You can leave it as is, or maybe give it your brand's dark mode colors. The next thing I'll move on to is the fonts area, which also is divided into two sections. The fonts combinations section, which gives you ready-made combinations we've made for you, so you can just click on any of them. And you can further customize them down here on the primary typeface and secondary typeface. Each theme, mostly the primary typefaces represent the headers. In some of the themes, the primary typeface could be the entire font of the page. So depending on that, these two sections will change those accordingly. And when you see the base size here of 18 pixels, that doesn't mean that this one or this one is 18 pixels. The base size here is 18 pixels, and everything else is relative to whatever we've chosen for that theme. So if I move that dial, you'll see that fonts will move accordingly relative to that size. And being that all the fonts are variable fonts, Google variable fonts, you can change its weight to increments of 10. So you can go as low as 100 to 900 or whatever that font allows. Some fonts allow from 200 to 800, some 100 to 1000. And you'll see that as you switch your fonts. Now, if you don't like any of the font combinations that we've given you here, you can go and find your font, which we've divided into sans serif, slab, mono, and handwritten. So you can click on them and you'll see the changes reflect immediately. Or you can search for your font. And if you've noticed, as you're picking your fonts, this little drop down doesn't close, and the reason behind that is so you can go ahead and pick any font you want without having to click the drop down every time you want to pick a font. So you can just move around, do the same thing for the secondary typeface. And then on the single post page, you can change the line height of the copy. So you can do that depending on the font, depending on your needs, etc. And once you're happy with everything, you can click publish changes and everything will reflect on your live blog. Now the cool thing is that all these styles you picked for this current theme that you have for your blog, if you change the theme, everything will carry over to the next theme. I'll decide to keep fonts here. So all the colors, everything will move on to the next theme. In this theme clarity, the header is down here. We call it a blog area on this one. And then Venture has this section here, which other fonts, which other themes don't. So on the colors section, you'll see the top section appear here, which you can also mess with. And then if you go to the persona theme, you'll see these other theme elements appear here. And if I go to the home page here, you'll see that the cover image has appeared, and then the hero title, subtitle, and any script that you want to embed here. And also, if you're seeing this touching here and you don't like that, you can go to the color section, down to the hero, and then just do that. And then padding, move it around, and that's it.